What's Anna's volleyball journey? How did you get here?
I originally started playing a bunch of sports when I grew up, and then I got really serious with gymnastics. I had a pretty serious injury, and after that I decided that maybe I should look towards other sports and give them a try. My dad was literally like, "You're pretty tall, you should try volleyball." Then just realized I want to play at the next level, and the rest is where we're at right now.
I mean, you're from Louisville, played at Assumption High School for Kiva. What does it mean to be playing for your hometown in front of people that just absolutely adore you?
It's just insane. I mean, originally I wanted to get away for college, and then I realized, like, as I was getting serious with the recruiting process, that I loved everything about Louisville and I really couldn't see myself going anywhere else. Just like emphasizing the hometown part of it, I really just came here and it's been literally unreal. Such a cool experience just to have friends and family around and really just have that like good hometown vibe for every game. It's awesome.
Welcome to Beyond the Court, where we dive into the stories of powerful female athletes. I'm your host, Tori Dilfer-Stringer, and each week we'll explore the triumphs, challenges, and passions that drive these student athletes both on and off the court. Let's get started.
Robert Alexander Center for Recovery, the leaders in high-level addiction and mental health care practices, are a proud sponsor of Floyd Street Media and 502 Circle. Through this partnership, they've been working with student athletes in a positive way to help raise awareness within the community. They are now contracted to provide services to U of L health professionals and are working hard to expand its outreach to help more people in the community. Together, we can shape the future, one life at a time.
Hey everyone, today we have Anna DeBeer. She is a team captain on our volleyball team. She was the 2023 ACC Player of the Year. She's a two-time All-American, 2020 ACC Freshman of the Year, a three-time All-ACC selection, and the 2023 ACC Scholar Athlete of the Year. So Anna, thank you so much. I'm super excited about this.
I know, I'm so excited to be here.
Yeah, this is just special. Like knowing you, having a friendship with you, getting to play with you for 2 seasons, and then see just where you are now. It's pretty special. So yeah, let's just start. What's Anna's volleyball journey? How did you get here? Walk us through it a little bit.
So I originally started playing a bunch of sports when I grew up, and then I got really serious with gymnastics, and that was like my main thing I loved at the time until I had a pretty serious injury that really was like, do I want to continue playing gymnastics? Like, it was pretty tough, and that was in 5th grade. Okay. And after that, I decided that maybe I should look towards other sports and give them a try. My dad was literally like, "You're pretty tall, you should try volleyball." Yeah. So that's kind of how I got into volleyball, and then it got really serious when I started playing for Kiva when I was 12. Yeah. So it was right after that injury, I just got back into it and then just realized I want to play at the next level, and the rest is where we're at right now.
The rest is history. That's awesome. And I mean, you're from Louisville, played at Assumption High School for Kiva. So, I mean, you grew up around volleyball. It made sense that your dad pointed you to volleyball. You got the height, and then it's just so big in Kentucky. What does it mean to be playing for your hometown in front of people that just absolutely adore you and that you've gotten to grow up with?
It's just insane. I mean, originally I wanted to get away for college and just kind of explore other options. And then I realized, like, as I was getting serious with the recruiting process, that I loved everything about Louisville and I really couldn't see myself going anywhere else. And just like emphasizing the hometown part of it, I didn't really realize like how special that would be until I like experienced it all. And Danny really just had her hometown like feeling in Nebraska, and she kind of talked to me about that, how cool it was. And then I really just came here, and it's been literally unreal. Such a cool experience just to have friends and family around and really just have that like good hometown vibe for every game. It's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so you come in as a freshman, you make a big splash. Your sophomore year is fantastic. You helped lead us to our first ever Final Four appearance. You were on the all Final Four all tournament team. I mean, just amazing. And then you go into your junior year, and early on in the season, you're hit with a pretty serious injury. Walk us through that a little bit, and you know, that year specifically, and then what you kind of got to learn from that.
So yeah, that year it started off great. We were just in our preseason games, having a great year so far, and it was actually one of our last preseason games against Stanford at Stanford, and I had a really like fluke injury. Like, it's just so unfortunate how it happened. Amaya and I like collided, and I just landed straight on my kneecap, and that was like, at first I was just like, oh, like I just probably bruised it. Like it obviously hurt. I knew something kind of was wrong, but I didn't really know how bad it was. And then long story short, like we went through all, like the doctors looked at it and just thinking it's like a sprain, PCL, like nothing serious, out a few weeks. And then got it checked out with an MRI, and turns out I completely tore my PCL. So it could have been worse. I always say, like it sucks hearing that, but it could have been like way worse, where you need surgery and you're going to be out for the whole year. And I really didn't really know how it was going to look. But I basically just started with around 6 weeks. Let's see how it is. It's supposed to heal on its own. Just wear the brace and do all that. And then at 6 weeks, it was nowhere close to being ready. So they're like, let's push it to 9 weeks. And then at 9, it was not even ready either. So that at that point, like it was extremely hard, just like thinking I was going to be back sooner, and then realizing, wow, it's like already deep into ACC play. Like I don't really know if I'm going to make it back for the rest of the season at all. So it was kind of really hard in that moment. And we kept on waiting, just hoping that I was going to do all the rehab and everything was going to like pay off just to get me back at the very end. And at around like 12 weeks, I started to like feel a little bit better, and it was just random. Like 1 week I felt really, really bad, and then the next week I was like, okay, we're getting somewhere. So that just gave me hope, and then I was able to get it back for the postseason, which was like obviously the most exciting part of the year. And just coming back from that injury, like it was just such a weird injury. Like I didn't really know what was going to happen, how it was going to be, like if I was going to be able to play normal again. So it was just awesome finishing out that year and being able to come back for the best part in the tournament. So
pretty amazing. So how were you able to, I mean, mainly mentally stay ready? And I mean, you've always been a big game player. You always show up in the big moments. How were you able to manage that while not having really many reps with the team, and then all of a sudden we're in the NCAA tournament and you're playing in a national championship game? I mean, how, talk about the struggle of that, but then also like how you were able to overcome it and, pull off something pretty amazing. Yeah,
so we really worked hard in just all the rehab and like just doing anything we could to strengthen everything and just really make sure like when I come back, we're not gonna push me like back even further. Like we're not gonna injure it again, or like just keep making, like we want to make sure it was fully healed so I wouldn't like miss anything else. And that was really hard. So we kind of just slowly started working into some passing and just trying to keep my touch, like making sure I know how to pass the ball still. And then just kind of as it started to feel better, worked on like some landing, jumping mechanics, like really worked hard with our strength coach, Sean, at the time, just like certain things I could do just to get me ready for the quick movements, because that was the thing that triggered it a lot, was just the quick reaction in volleyball. You're always constantly moving, and we had to like do some stuff to like see how that would feel, because volleyball is such a fast-paced game. You're constantly moving. So that was hard. And then as it started to feel better doing all those, we just started inching back into some jumping, and then obviously hitting was like the last part. So in those few games, I was just playing back row, just trying to maybe serve, because it was very like low impact, no one's around you, you're not gonna like land on one leg, like all the like super safety precautions in that regard. And then once I really felt comfortable with hitting, we just went for it in the game. And at that time I was just like over everything, not even thinking about it. I was like, let me just hit and play. So it was just awesome. I just remember that time I was so excited just to be back out there doing what I'm supposed to do, and which is being an outside hitter.
Absolutely. And you did that very well. I remember watching those games and just being like, wow, that she looks like she has not skipped a single beat.
Yeah, it was crazy.
It's pretty amazing.
Thank you.
So I know one thing that obviously getting to be a part of the Louisville volleyball program, team culture is a huge thing. You're a team captain this year. You've taken a huge load on the court your entire career. But I feel like the last couple years you've really taken on, it's Louisville volleyball and Anna DeBeer, they're synonymous. They're the same, and you carry that weight. So what does that mean to you? And then also, how are you able to manage that? I'm going to say it's pressure. There is a lot of added pressure and expectation. So, how do you manage that?
Yeah, I definitely think it's hard, but just like starting my junior year when it was my first year being captain, like I've come a long way since then. And just at that time having leaders to look up to who were like the seniors at the time, I really like was under their belt, and they kind of helped me just kind of figure out how to do it and what's the best way to do it. And since then I've learned a lot, and it's definitely like that added pressure. Like you may not always think that you have that pressure, but it's there. And I like almost don't always think about it, but then it hits you in certain moments and you're like, wow, like you feel like the team relies on you to just be good all the way around, when in reality it's not always going to be perfect. You're going to make errors, you're going to do some uncharacteristic things because we're all human, but it's really helped me just grow in just like the mental aspect of the game, and just realizing that there's going to be bad days, but our team is so great about picking each other up, and that's what I've tried to do as a captain, just making sure everyone's on the same page and really just using that to help everyone and get us where we need to be.
That's awesome. All right, shifting to Anna off the court a little bit. I know you're really great on social media. I love your TikToks.
I try.
Fun. Let's kind of just talk about that. Like how has that been something that's, kind of relieving to have an outlet maybe off the court, and helped you, discover you more as a person instead of just Anna, the volleyball player?
Yeah, so I always have kind of been into social media, just like I've enjoyed it. It's just fun to kind of just be on it and showcase like what you are as a person outside of your sport. So it's always been something I've loved. But since NIL like kind of started, I took it a little bit more seriously, and not that I just like had to do it. I literally just wanted to do it. Like I just think it's so cool just to be able to use social media and help build your brand, like really showcase who you are outside of the sport. And that's kind of what I did. So my freshman year when NIL was just starting, and I really just tried to get more consistent with posting on social media and like reaching out to brands that I love, and just, it doesn't even have to be like the biggest brands. Like I'm talking everyday stuff like hair care, skin care, like anything you use on the daily. Like I didn't really know how like it could be like how much of an impact NIL could have now that we can have those opportunities as athletes, and really just take advantage of like the opportunities and now that we can do that. And it's really been awesome. Just I've been trying to just post and get more out there and kind of keep building it, and hopefully get some free hair care, skin care, like I said, just free products and just stuff that you can use in your everyday life. So it's awesome.
Well, and I think it's also helped the community knows you as a player. They've watched you, but they also get to know you as a person. You're very real on social media. In your videos, you kind of show what a day today looks like, which I think has just made the community, rally behind you even more so. And so I think it's just been an awesome tool for you, and you've handled that so well, which props to you, because it's not an easy thing to manage,
I know, and I try to just like, obviously volleyball in school is like the number one priority, but when you have like the extra time, like it's so fun just showcasing like the day in the life and like kind of behind the scenes. Like Louisville has like really grown, and everyone really likes to see the behind the scenes, just all the fun stuff about it. So it's just been cool to kind of showcase that.
Yeah, awesome. So along with that, you're in your master's program now, which is amazing. You're getting your MBA. That's one of the really only cool things that came out of having an extra year of eligibility from COVID. I know I'm thankful for that. I don't know where I'd be without my last year of eligibility. So, talk about that a little bit, and, the challenges. Obviously having, an MBA program is rigorous, and you're going to continue it after you've actually finished playing volleyball at U of L. So kind of just talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, so obviously COVID freshman year, that was a whirlwind, and I knew I had that extra year, and as it got closer, I really decided I wanted to take it, and just having that chance to obviously get a second degree, and I think that was just super important. So I actually graduated in December of 2023, which was a semester early, and then I went ahead and got my MBA started this spring in January. So I've been doing that since this January, and it goes on to next August. So I'm really it's all online. So it's definitely like had its challenges, but being online, it just allowed me to do more, take care of myself. Like you don't have to worry about going to classes as much. So you can really just do a lot more outside of volleyball and outside of school, just like in terms of recovery and just taking care of myself to make sure I have like a really good year. So it's really awesome that I just get to finish my master's and do it while I'm playing. It's like a win-win.
It's pretty amazing. You kind of get a sneak peek at, I know you've talked about you do want to continue playing after you graduate or I guess finish up your eligibility, and you kind of get a sneak peek at what being a pro looks like, like the majority of your time is put towards Anna the athlete, but then you also get, those things outside. You get to discover yourself more as a person, and, your identity is not completely wrapped up in that performance. Like you get, just some extra, I wouldn't say time, but the way you allocate your time can be a little bit different, which is definitely a benefit of, getting a second degree, just, growing up. It's like you're a full-blown adult. Like that's crazy, but you still get to, play your last year. It's pretty amazing. Yeah. All right. I'm curious, selfishly, what's your favorite Louisville volleyball memory so far?
I honestly, there's not one that I could have said, but just thinking back to the whole year in 2021, That was just such a special year. We were kind of on the come up. We hadn't done anything like too crazy, I'd say. Like in 2019, before I got there, you all had made it to the Elite Eight, and that was like a super cool moment for Louisville volleyball, making history that year. And then in 2020, my freshman year, we made it to the Sweet 16. So we were like getting there. And that 2021 year, like we never really realized how good we were that year until we started like winning some really good games in preseason. And we're like, wait a second, like we're not just like beating teams, we're like beating and winning pretty easily. And I don't think we realized like how good we were until we were like in the thick of it. And that year being undefeated, just like, it was just such a fun year. Like I can't even just say one memory from that year, but the whole year itself, just making it to our first Final Four. And I think that game against Wisconsin would be like my favorite moment in that year, even though we lost. It was just such a cool environment. We were so close. Like it was just such a special team, and that was definitely my favorite moment. I bet you can speak for your by far your favorite too.
Totally. I mean, just amazing. And I think one of the coolest things, I honestly forget about this, like your knee injury wasn't the first time you've had to overcome an injury. You had a back injury that week leading up to the Final Four. And I mean, we had no idea if you were going to be able to play. And it was like basically a game time decision of, okay, we get her some medicine and she can get out there, and you go and have 20 kills. And
totally was just numbed at that point. I was like, the story behind that is actually funny, but I don't know if I should say that.
But I think it just shows you as a competitor, you as a person, like all you wanted to do was be out there for your team. And you've done that consistently over your career. It's pretty amazing.
That was definitely a whirlwind. Just like that week leading up to it, a few days before, I was like crying, no way I can even play. I couldn't barely even walk. Like back is like a whole part of your body. Like I was not moving well, and I didn't even think I'd be able to play. And then as we got closer, I was just praying on it. I was like, I just really hope I can get out there, and ended up working out. I started to feel better and got the magic, whatever it was, and I'm ready.
Gosh, those memories are so great. But okay, awesome. Another question. What is your dream NIL or social media deal?
So I had to think hard about this one because there's like so many that I would just love. But I think for my time in my life right now, I'd have to say Starbucks, because if you know me, like my team could speak on that. I get Starbucks every game day. It's like part of my game day routine. A venti strawberry acai refresher with no water and no berries. And it's so good. It's just like, I'm not like superstitious about it. Like I'm not really like a superstitious person, but that's just like part of my routine. Like if I don't have it, it's like not the end of the world. Like on some away games, I'm like, But I love Starbucks, and if Starbucks sees this, just please sponsor me.
Yeah, I was gonna say, there you go. Give her sponsor, guys. Okay, last question. What do you hope your legacy will be when you are done here at U of L?
I feel like I really just want to have that role model. Just like I want people to see me as a player who really just wanted to help a team and really just do everything for the team. And I think our program is so special in that regard, that we all have the greatest chemistry, and we just want what's best for each other and want what's best for the program. And I really hope that we just keep continuing as a program to make a difference in the community, and just really, we don't really realize the impact we have on the community and little girls that always look up to us. So I think that's just like something that I want to be remembered for in my time at Louisville.
Well, I will always remember you as just somebody that handled herself so well, competed hard, and was just an amazing teammate and role model to everybody around her. So I mean, I was older than you, and you were an underclassman when I came in, when you came in, but I always looked up to you, and I just admire everything about you. So thank you. This was so fun.
This is so fun. Thank you, Tori.
That's it for today's episode of Beyond the Court. Thanks for joining us, and don't forget to share and subscribe to Floyd Street Media on all platforms. I'm Tori Dilfer-Stringer. We'll see you next time.